Dr. Grins is a lot of fun. You've been to this club.
Oh, yeah.
This is a club that even you can speak about.
Yeah, I think I played that club twice. I featured there twice.
Yeah, it's a good club.
Yeah, it's fun. You're kind of downtown Grand Rapids.
Yeah.
It's a fun little city. Not a great city to drive in, especially during the winter, with the potholes and whatnot.
Yeah, really rough. And the building that Dr. Grins is in is called the Bob, B-O-B, the Bob, stands for Big Old Building. I made the joke that it sounds like that would be a building that Toby Keith would own. And it didn't get a lot of laughs.
Yeah, I think you got to be really from the South.
I think so, because Toby Keith had a song called Big Old Truck. Take a little ride in my big old truck. So you would have to know that, I think. I thought that song stood the test of time. It was a good song.
Yeah.
Before that song, everybody thought Toby Keith used to play football for the Dallas Cowboys. And then there's a scene at the end where the truck goes flying by him and blows off his jeans or whatever, and you can just see his legs. And my mom was like, "Oh, that boy's got some skinny legs." She loved Toby Keith. We saw Toby Keith in concert at Dollywood, I think. He had an album out, but he was not the Toby Keith we know today.
So it's natural for you to make a Toby Keith joke because it's sort of in your soul a bit.
Yeah, I got Toby Keith going way back. There is a home video that I have where my mom loves to decorate for Christmas, right? She really gets into it. And she used to have these little houses that she would put up in and make little villages, little Christmas. And it was great. They had cotton that you would put all over it for snow. It was really something. My mom went all out on it. And we had one of those old wooden TVs, that sat on the floor. And so it was like a shelf in itself. So it was perfect for it. And then she had a shelf of a bunch of Santa Clauses. And while she's filming all of this, she zooms in on a picture on the shelf of Santa Clauses. And as you zoom in, you see it's a picture of Toby Keith. For some reason, Toby Keith was framed and in amongst the Santa Clauses.
Mm-hmm.
So Toby Keith, he's great. I even made a video on my YouTube of it's a country music song, top 5 country music songs it was originally titled, "Is Toby Keith the Real Benjamin Button?" And the idea being that the further he progresses in music, the younger he seems to get.
Looks-wise?
No, just content.
Yeah.
His, some of his early songs were like, "Does that blue moon ever shine on you?" So it just seems very grown up. I don't remember the songs, but, then we work our way down to Red Solo Cup.
Uh-huh.
And I think it's a great, great list. I'm saying I know a lot about Toby Keith.
Yeah, you got a deep reservoir of Toby Keith references and memories.
Yeah, there's even a song called "How Do You Like Me Now" that Toby Keith sings.
I think we all know that song.
Do you?
How do you like me now that I'm on my way?
Yeah, exactly. All right, way to go. And, in that song, I used to listen to that. It came out when I was in high school, and I thought, yeah, get him, Toby. And then, but as you go through it, he calls himself crazy. I was always the crazy one, broke into the stadium, and I wrote your number on the 50-yard line, right? So, right away, he calls himself crazy. He's, guilty of breaking and entering, and guilty of vandalism and slander. He said, "I wrote your number on the 50-yard line and wrote call for a good time." And then he says, oh man, I'm really off track with how the song goes.
Get back to the roots. How do you like me now?
I was always the crazy one, broke into the stadium, and I wrote your number on the 50-yard line. Oh, okay. And then he says, "You were always a perfect one, a valedictorian, so under your number I wrote call for a good time."
Yeah, it's just like Jingle Bells for you. It'll come once.
Yeah. He says, "I only wanted to get your attention, but you overlooked me somehow." And I'm thinking, I don't know if she overlooked you. It seemed like she actively avoided you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've been slandering the girl out on the football field. That's not really like maybe try to show her some respect.
Yeah.
And he says, "But you overlooked me somehow." He said, "You had too many boyfriends to mention, so I played my guitar too loud." It's been a while. I should have ran through the bit before I started trying to do it.
Hey, it's a podcast. This is what it's all about.
But the point is, he's really aggressive and mean towards this girl, and then he doesn't understand why she doesn't want to go on a date with him. The song is not "I asked her on a date and then she humiliated me." it's like I humiliated her, and I can't understand why she doesn't want to date me.
Look, I think the point is, if the people in Dr. Grin's Grand Rapids knew half the things you just said, they would have got your joke.
Absolutely. I mean, I was not prepared to launch into a full-on Toby Keith thing, but just, I'm just going off basic Toby Keith knowledge here.
I feel like, based on this, I've learned that you're probably holding back every day a Toby Keith reference.
Yeah, I mean, in 2001 or whenever, maybe 2002, when the song "We'll Put a Boot Up Your Ass, It's the American Way" came out, I mean, that song had me tearing up.
When I think about that song, I think about you.
Yeah, I mean, of course. But now I don't really relate to that song as much. I feel differently about things and what's going on in our country and government.
Yeah, you gotta.
To where I'm like, okay, now I don't like the song as much. But in 2002, honestly, from 2002 to about 2012, that song resonated with me.
Right after 9/11, it was a time during America, obviously.
It was extreme patriotism.
Yeah, because and of course it was at that time. I mean, y'all had gone through a lot, and so you hear a song like that, and you getting fired up. Plus, it's Toby Keith. I mean, he's your Santa Claus.
I mean, I learned what the World Trade Center was the day I saw it fall.
Amen.
And it's like that was a lot of info for me. I'm like, I didn't even realize this existed, and now it's gone.
Yeah.
It's too bad.
Yeah.
It's trauma.
It was trauma. It was trauma, and then later on, it was sort of disillusionment.
Yes, probably so, yeah. I mean, there's still some people that you could direct the song at, I think. When you say, "We'll put a boot up your ass." I mean, I think there's still people you could direct it at, but I don't think it was the original people we all thought.
I direct it towards people who let their dogs poop on my yard.
Exactly. Except our neighbor, his dog does poop in our yard sometimes, and we like him.
Yeah.
He's very nice. It hasn't pooped in the yard in a long time. So. Slay! Slay! We're having a good time.